story. I started my 25th year of coaching. My 5th year of coaching, I was at Sumner High School, and I had the honor of listening to Coach Wooden speak. He had retired and was going on the tour and speaking to schools. Somebody said, "Hey, the coach needs a ride to the airport." And I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'll do it." So after I got done speaking, I had to drive up to the SeaTac airport. And back then, of course, you could walk the guy to the gate. And I insisted, "So please, could I walk to the gate?" No, you don't need that. I said, "Really, could I walk to the gate? I just want more time to talk to him." So I carried his bag through there. "No, I can carry my own bag." "How can I carry your bag?" "Fine, carry your own bag." Got all the way to the gate. Sat down, he says, "Here, the gate is here." And I think he's kind of telling me to leave. So I looked at him and I said, "Coach, you mind if I sit down until your flight's ready to load? Talk to you a little bit, ask a few questions?" "Sure, Joe, that'd be fine." Very calm, very assuring. And I said, "I thought I had 2 great questions." The first question, I said, "So what is the key to your success? You've had unbelievable success. Here I am, 5th year, high school coach. What can I do?" He looks at me, "Make each day your masterpiece." My God. Just it hit me. It was like, wow, it's kind of like, use the same line that I gave with our guys. I changed it a little bit. I say you have a 1-day contract. But, it's the same kind of thing. Make each day your masterpiece. One thing about tomorrow, make each day your masterpiece. So I said, well, another question for you. So I think I'm on a roll. We got good questions, good answers, we're connecting. I said, "Coach, do you really think," now I'm a little cocky, now it's my personality's coming out a little bit more. I look at him and I go, "Coach, do you think your teams, today the athletes are better than when you were coaching, the athletes weren't as good probably. Do you think that your teams can compete with the teams today? It's been 10 years, 5 or 10 years. He looks at me, he grabs my knee. "Joe, my team could play with anybody, any era, any time." And he kind of put this finger right in my face after he grabbed my knee, and I go, "Yes, Coach, I thought so. That's what I was thinking myself the whole time." So I learned 2 great things: his humility, his comfort, but also his fierce toughness and competitiveness. That when he looked at me and the conviction that he had about, hey, it doesn't matter, time and place, that his teams are going to be tough, they're going to be competitive, they're going to be in great condition, they're going to be great teammates. And, really that's kind of what my coaching career has been able to take something like that and learn from those lessons and say, we've got to basically hang our hat on some basic fundamental parts of the game. And I'm really proud of the last 2 years at Cal Poly. We've had an exceptional situation up there where we've got great student athletes. I mean, institutionally, we are just a very, very high academic place, and we're really in paradise. One of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. Not many people drive through that area without going, "Oh my God, it's just gorgeous up there in San Luis Obispo." And what we've had to do is kind of play different. We're probably one of the most boring, frustrating teams in America to play against. We are very slow moving. We have to recruit really smart, tough, hard-working kids. And we play a really ugly matchup zone. We had a couple games this year that was 62 to 52, and I think that was double overtime or something like that. We had some 49 to 52 point games. We set the game of basketball back. But I started talking with our boosters. They said they loved it. Our attendance has increased the last 2 years. We were picked last the first year. We finished 5th, and then we were picked 4th, or we picked 6th last year. We were able to sneak in there and finish 2nd. Munson's team ran away with it and was still 4 games ahead of 2nd place. So 2nd sounds really good. You don't tell anybody else that. And it's been an amazing experience because we have to be different at Cal Poly. And we've got a real energy about it. We have new athletic director, Don Oberhelm, who's been fantastic for energy. He's come in, he's young, he's enthusiastic, he's exciting. We have a new president who's young, enthusiastic, exciting. He's come to practices, he's come to games, he comes to the locker room after a game. Our guys catch that. Leadership is about that. Do you have some excitement? Do you have some belief? Do you have what we call the Mustang way? It's finding a way to get it done. Even though we may not have the talent physically as maybe every other team in the conference, we have some really hard-working guys that will play well together and buy into what we're doing. I also want to thank Julie Hawk. I'll give you a great example. Our number 1 supporter over here at the table, he invites us down, takes care of the table every single year. But more importantly than that, and a lot of us have supporters that will drop about $500 or $1,000. Julie does the most important thing he can give anybody on planet Earth. He gives us our time. He comes to probably 80% of the practice and sits there. Now, sometimes he catches a little nap on the side, and our guys will not be coach. He's falling asleep over here. But that's okay. We feel that support of somebody who comes to practices day in, day out. To give you an example of what Cal Poly's like, we have some facility issues. We're not exactly the most well-funded, nicest facilities on the West Coast. And apparently our wrestling program got kicked out of the wrestling room because of a fire code hazard or something or other. And I got an email Sunday said, "Coach, we don't have any place for wrestling team to practice. They practice in the gym during your practice." And I thought, you know what, I was a junior college coach for 6 years. No problem, bring him in there. So we now got 2 big wrestling mats next to the basketball court. When I thought back in junior college, we used to have the wrestling match, we used to have the bicycles, we used to have the aerobics girls, we used to have the softball people and the volleyball people warming up. And I looked at our guys, they're going through some conditioning yesterday, and they go, "How long are the wrestlers going to be here?" And I said, "As soon as we're in shape, they're out here, but if you're not running hard, you're going to go over to the wrestling mat." And you get those guys, the wrestlers are looking over at them like, "Oh, this is great." I said, "Well, seriously, you guys, anybody that's not going hard, you're going over the wrestling mat." So, you know, it kind of fits our mode. We're kind of, hey, it doesn't matter, whatever obstacle you put in front of us, you know, we're going to overcome it. We're going to find a way to be tough and together and run our defense. We have to hang our hat on that. We're scoring a little bit more. We got 4 new guys coming into the program that are really going to help us. We had a trip to Costa Rica this summer. We played the Costa Rica national team. The night before we played them, we had a practice in an old tin shed with a snap-together floor and water all over the facility. And suddenly, Mock Gym looked pretty good to them. They were very appreciative of what we have at Cal Poly. We have a great fan base. We'll have 1,000 people at our practice Friday night. We have probably 7,000 to 8,000 people Friday night at our soccer game against Santa Barbara. One of the best soccer rivalries in the nation. I think 3 of the top 6 soccer attended games in the nation are Cal Poly or Santa Barbara. We'll have some recruits on campus to go to a soccer game called Mock Madness, something we invented 2 years ago. The soccer fans will come on up to the gym afterwards. 1,000 will have 3-point shooting contest, dunk contest for the women's team. So we have to do things a little bit different. We have a college town, we have a college atmosphere, we have guys that buy into that. It's a special place. It's a place that with the enthusiasm we have all the way through. We have a young staff. I've got a former assistant coach, a former player of mine that's now on staff. He's 26, 27 years old. I was really afraid to hire him because I thought he was too young. And then, you know, I'm turning 49 now. I'm thinking, he's too young. I realized my first head job, I was 26, 27. Why not give the guy a chance? He's been great energy to us, too. Finally, our trip to Costa Rica. And I think some coaches can empathize with this and thought it was a joke. I told our players we had 3 goals this summer. And they're waiting for, you know, offensive and defensive goals. I said 3 goals when you go to Costa Rica. No fights, no injuries, okay, and no arrests. And I was talking to the coaches. Then we went to have a players meeting. I said the same thing. I said no fights, no arrests, no injuries. And thankfully all 3 occurred. And our athletic director was with us. Now he was arrested and got in a little bit of fight, but you know we didn't have the talk with him. You know, he had the best time of all. But realistically, we got through that trip. We did bring in a point guard that was hurt last year, a new starting point guard probably this year, kid out of New York City. It's taken 2 years to get on the floor with an ACL injury and a redshirt year. Amari Furman, who has 1 year of eligibility for us and was super. We played the national team in Costa Rica. We lost the first night by 4 points. We made some changes to our defense, knowing who their shooters were. We're a very good defensive team. We were number 1 in the nation for 10 weeks defending the 3-point line. We held a pretty good San Diego State team 0 for 18 the 3-point line. We finished 4th in the nation defending 3-point line. We just run you off the 3-point line. We won't let your best shooters get a good look. And we can maintain that. We'll continue to be competitive in the unbelievably competitive Big West. But this point guard gives us a chance to score some points. We had a difficult time scoring buckets. Now he makes easy buckets for other guys. We're bringing a transfer from Rice University, Chris Eversey out of Chicago. And he's given us some replacement for Sean Lewis, the kid that we lost, the senior. But we have David Hanson back. We have the freshman of the year back in Malik Love. More importantly, we have 9 returning lettermen, 4 other guys that have been around each other. They have great camaraderie. They have great enthusiasm. They have insights to the game. They'll do whatever it takes. They'll double team a post. They'll fly out a shooter. They'll take a charge. And we actually do like them. And they actually do like us. And I tell them this every time. I love you guys. I said, I would let half of you marry my 12-year-old daughter. They're all trying to figure out which half that is, though. That's as the night goes on. So we'll have a good year. They're great guys. We're going to have good fun. And I appreciate being here. This is a great honor. We're going to continue to come down here and try to compete and make the first ever NCAA tournament. Santa Barbara's done a great job at kind of sneaking that tournament getting hot, doing a great job, but we think the conference is going to really give us an opportunity to have a couple teams really playing for postseason this year. Thank you, guys.